Hey there. If you're still here, thank you very much. I know that's a long 5 minutes of self-indulgent fun, guitar fun. So, as this video title suggests, I am not going to make this video about the Revv Generator 120 10th anniversary. I don't know what version of this is because, you know, I hadn't really seen them around LA very much. It was past NAMM. I got to check some Revv amps out, and yeah, they're cool. Sorry, I went back to making this video about the Generator 120. Not going to. Okay, hey, this is the guitar I used for all of the intro. It's my Shabbat Green Lion. I love it very, very much. It has Lawler Imperial pickups. So yeah, I just, you know, plugged this into the amp because I wanted to have some fun one evening, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I plugged into the cabinet, SM57 on a V30 and on a greenback. Nothing super fancy, just a 412 cab. And I was in channel 3. Actually, I believe I was probably more like this. And I quickly learned that the bright switch just takes you to like... tightens everything up, puts the aggressive top end in the place that you're going to want it for that kind of stuff. I've dropped the treble back when I go to that bright mode. And then this is the best. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Built-in gate is just awesome. So I was, you know, flipping through the aggression mode. So yeah, I mean that was beefy. There's something about the mid-range through this whole amp that's like, you know, chicharrones? I may not look it, but I am half Puerto Rican and grew up with strong Puerto Rican influence. And my sweet, sweet beloved grandmother would always have chicharrones in her pockets. They're like pork grinds, you know, like, and it just, I don't know, that's a tone that I think of, not particularly Canadian, but, you know, chicharrones, channel chicharrones, I like it. So it's still not about the Generator 120, right? Because we're just talking about tones in general. The gate just makes things so much easier. Who wants that business? Ah, that's the business I want. Yeah, that's the nuts right there. Yeah, I think, you know, fiddling around. Same thing goes on channel 4, where you have the aggression modes. You know, you can't see it if my finger's in front of it, but... it has reverb, and it has, you know, the gate. You know, sometimes you want reverb on your leads. Reverb on leads is nice. That's like the best thing ever played on guitar, by the way. Not by me, by Steve Stevens. It's the best. It's not up for debate. The opening stuff in that song was really just channel 1 and channel 2. bridge humbucker. I mean, those aren't supposed to sound nice on clean channel. Oh, I set my preset to wide. Widens, it's like a slight boost and it like just lifts everything, but I don't know, it's kind of whatever you're feeling. You can't really make it sound bad. There's no gain knob on channel 1. I thought that was pretty cool. And then channel 2 is like kind of the opening. And two of my favorite modulation pedals. One is the Past Effects 80/A flanger, so cool, and the Zuta phaser, and them together. So I just ran straight into the front end of it. Little halo delay. And then to top it off, you throw in some phaser. Creates such a big cinematic swirl, and like you pick light, you get less fuzz and distortion, and then you dig in and the note just goes and comes out, and then you got all this swirl happening around too. So really cool, super fun to play through. I could have done the whole thing through the TwoNotes direct outputs easily, but you know, I'm accustomed to the sound of my cab. And dang man, this thing blasts through the cab. It has a 5-watt switch that when I first plugged in, I was like, oh man, this is pretty quiet for 120 watts. And yeah, then I switched over to 120 watts and everything goes super tight and powerful. And the tightness is funny because it is super tight, and I've watched the guys on the Revv channel like play like tight aggressive metal, like I don't have guitars that do that. I don't do that. And it sounds super tight. And when I do it, like it gets tight, exactly tight enough where I want, but it still has that fatness, the chicharrones effect in the mids and kind of low mids where you still have all that big body. So I'm just going to mess around because I'm not going to tell you all about this amp. So I'm just going to mess around with some tones. Okay, for the people who want to know about the Generator 120, even though this is not a video about that. 4 channels, total MIDI control bonkers. internal load box, TwoNotes, DynIR outputs, 5-watt switch, 120-watt switch, headphones in the front, built-in reverb, buttons, lots of buttons, big tones, chicharrones. And now it's not like a it's got the Revv sound. It's not a Marshall clone. It's not a whatever. Not a Mesa clone. There's something very Revv about this, and I think it's pretty cool when you can kind of slice out sort of a little segment of this the tone landscape. So yeah, and at first I was like, well, it can't do any of that old kind of cool ZZ Toppy kind of stuff or whatever. But then I figured it out. Really, Channel 2 has got a lot of that more vintage DNA in it, and it cleans up really cool. Okay, so what I learned is that it's really difficult to make a video where you're using an amazing amp and then not talk about that amazing amp. Everything just pulls you back to, hey, check this out, the amazing amp. So Operation Don't Make a Video About the Generator 120 has failed, but it's a great amp. I mean, I think from the beginning it was obvious. It has a sound of its own. It's big, it's beefy, it sounds like a Revv. It has incredible amounts of technology thrown in, all the MIDI you could want, internal load box, 5-watt mode, two TwoNotes, direct outputs, 4 channels, multiple modes, reverb, built-in gate. It's a flagship. So yeah, super killer amp from Revv. Yeah, it's really good. So thank you for hanging out with me and screwing around with me. I was just trying to have a good time and not do kind of a boring guitar amp review. I don't know. Let me know if you want just me to do a boring amp review. I could do those too. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you will. And I'll talk to you all soon. I'll see you again. I'm not going anywhere. See you.